It's 5 a.m. now. They just hit 140. I pulled them when they were like 203, 205 range. So they're perfect, ready to cut into right now. So let's see what these things look like. All right, so let's cut into this thing. Let's see what we got here. A lot of beef cow. All right. Cut this thing right in half. And then we're going to take the left-hand side of this thing. That's going to be the flat side, different from the point side. We're going to turn the point side this way. We'll cut it that direction, but the flat side we'll do first here. I was like kind of seeing how these slices hold up. I like to try to get in a couple slices, and then I'm going to do the little bend test here. This lets you know if you just wasted, 12 hours of your night. What you're looking for is like a piece that's going to bend nicely over your finger but not fall apart. And then you're going to take it and you're going to try to pull it apart after that. And it should separate like really smooth. And if you do that, then you like really got a good piece here. So let's check this one. It's a bend test, not falling apart on me. Thank God, look at that little rainbow kind of action here. Pull test. Oh man, this thing is perfect, guys, perfect. Oh my God. I wish I had a reaction camera right now. This thing is delicious. All right. So I'm just going to keep slicing this guy up. And the flat side here is actually like the leaner side of the brisket. Sorry, mouthful. So this is going to be the kind of the less fatty side. And, whichever one you like. I like to make stuff out of both sides. But brisket is one of my absolute favorite things in the entire world to make. This stuff is so good. It sucks, obviously, when you screw one up because it takes so long to do. But when you nail it, man, it's a good feeling. So this little piece here is kind of like the burnt ends. And this stuff is like gold. That little bite right there, that thing is like one of the best bites on the entire piece of meat. So I'm going to save those for myself. But I'm not going to chew them on camera and, do that to you guys again here. So here is the point side, the fattier side. And this stuff is like unbelievably tender. I used to love to make like sandwiches and stuff, but I stopped eating bread a long time ago, and that's how I kind of lost like 80 pounds over the last 6 months here. But now I use this stuff, and I'll take like cauliflower rice. I have like a bunch of videos that I'm making of like the cauliflower mash that I do. Basically, the rice version I make is like exactly the same process. I just don't put it in the food processor. And I'll make like little, fajita bowls and stuff like that, or like kind of a lot of people have been recommending these like ramen Thai kind of things, so I think I'm going to take some of that brisket home with me, and tomorrow I'll probably try to make something like that because I love that kind of food here. So this is an entire brisket. This thing weighed, I think it was like 13 pounds when I trimmed it, and now it weighs out to probably about 6 pounds. I'll weigh it out and I'll let you guys know in like a little at the end like what it actually broke down to. But I'm going to vac seal most of this, like I said, and then I will eat a little bit fresh tomorrow, break it out on the Super Bowl, and I'll take like the vac seal bag and I'll just warm it up in a pot of water, like on low for a little while, and this stuff comes out. It tastes exactly like it does right now. It's unbelievable. That's a little trick I learned from one of my friends, and like it's incredible how well this stuff reheats if you do it that way. You're basically like sous videing it back up to to that 140 kind of area. So anyway.